right?
Oh, Joe's gonna have a good old time.
Joe's already the star of the show. He came out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Got my wine. I'm ready to
That's
go.
you might need it, man, when you're done with me.
I might.
This dude is too he's too honest, man.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are streaming, so we are ready to rock. So hello again for everybody that's watching online. This is Jimmy. We're here at SongNet, and we've got James Kocian. I met James at Taxi, and he's an amazing songwriter and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you want to look for his cred, just go online. You'll see a whole lot of stuff. Songwriting coach, life coach kind of a person, and a whole lot of really great stuff that he's been doing. So I'm going to turn over to James, let him talk a little bit about what he does, and then we'll go ahead and start listening to some music. So James, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy. Man, it's a real honor to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you for having me. Thank you for making some accommodations. I was going to be here a couple of months ago, and I mucked it up. Jimmy didn't. That was on me. So my friend Matt Vanderbo sat in, which was great. Man, I've been a writer since forever. I've been writing songs. The long and short of my story is that I was the guy that really believed that I could do it all. And it's funny, I was just talking about this earlier with Karen in a coaching session, in that I was able to write and sing and produce and mix and do all of these things. And in my mind, that was very appealing. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it really was an inhibitor for me, because as I tried to make my way into the music industry, it's kind of like the one-man show, the one-man band, and to really move all of those different disciplines down the road effectively is very, very hard. And so in my younger years, I had some neat things happen to me that look really cool on paper. The reality of what they were, was maybe less extravagant as what it sounded like. Being a guest of the NFL Players Association, I worked with an NFL player, sang out at the NFLPA Super Bowl party, and it sounds awesome. Like, as a guest of the NFL, they flew me out, and it's awesome, right? And it was cool. It was cool, but the actual practical impact of that in my music career was that's a really neat thing on paper. Nothing really came of it. Got some cool hats and met some pretty cool people, but really that was about it. So I was kind of that guy that was really thought this is really cool, unique, what I do, until I started really going to Nashville. I live in the Midwest, and I had a meeting with an A&R guy one time at a label, and he listened to my stuff, and we really were vibing and hit it off. And he's like, "Man, James, if you had just been here just a few weeks ago, I would have signed you. But we just signed Sam Tenez." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he does what you do, and yeah, he just beat you to it." And I was just like, "Oh." So that was a real reality check for me. And the truth is the more that I chased my own accolades for myself as being the guy, the writer, the singer, the producer, all that stuff, I just could never get there. I could never get into the rooms that I wanted to be in. And I met a friend through Taxi Music, who's a friend now. He was a mentor to me for a long, long time. His name is Rob Shirelli. And took us a long, long time to develop a very trusting relationship. But the guy changed my life. And what I learned from working with Rob and continuing to work with Rob is that even if you have all these different skill sets, you don't need to use them all the time. You need to be mindful of who you're with and who you're in the room with and what the project calls for, and do that job. And I've got a lot of stories that I won't go into, but ultimately, I learned that just to be in on a project, just to be a part of something, sometimes I might be just like the track guy. I might be working on the track, and sometimes I might be working on the melody. A lot of times it's the lyric or whatever. Sometimes I mix records. It doesn't matter to me. To be able to get to do it, to get to do music and to be a part of projects that go out into the world, whether on the sync side or with artists that go all over the world, that is such an honor, and it's staggering to me that I get to do it, because I know me. I know that I'm not the most talented guy around. I know that I don't live where you guys live in LA. I live in Green Bay, right? So I don't know. I'm just like really not really impressed by myself. I'm impressed by other people. So what changed in my life was learning that and then putting relationship over everything else. Relationship over results. I put people over product. And rather than be like, how can this person help me? I flipped it to like, how could I help them? How could I be a blessing to them? How could, does what I do, is it even congruent? I said to Ty Knox one time, I don't know if what you're looking for is aligned with what I do, but I'd like to find out if I could help you. And he's like, what's your name? Because normally it's like people are like, you need to help me. And when I go to events, people will, get, and I get it. It's like you feel desperate. But like, if I'm not working on anything, I'm not working on heavy metal, like I don't know, I can connect you to somebody, but I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything, like, you know what I mean? Like I have my little areas that I work in, and I want to get to know you. I want to be able to trust you. I want to be able to know that I could trust you with my son, who has a disability, in my house. I want you to know that I want to be able to know that you're a cool enough hang that I'd want to have over at a bonfire, right, or a cookout or something. So that's just relationship. And when I started doing that, that's when everything changed. Literally, I mean, it's shocking how fast things change, and people started going out of their way to try to help me, and I didn't. It's not like I got the latest, greatest plugin, or it's not that it was like, oh, hey, James might be somebody that I can count on to do the thing that I'm asking him to do, and he's trustworthy. Like that's everything. That's everything. And it seems so simple, but a couple of the big things that I've been on with the Fear Is Not My Future record, and when I got that record, I had no idea that Mav City was working with Kirk Franklin and Brandon Lake. Like that was not public information. And so I was sitting on that information in my studio, and I'm like, oh. And I know a lot of people at that moment will go on Instagram and say, hey guys, I'm working with Kirk Franklin and I'm doing, right? And all of a sudden now I make myself the main character when my role in that record is about this big. Now I was the beneficiary of some great things that happened because of it, but I kept my mouth shut, right? So when you act, you got to act like a professional, right? You got to act like, even if you're still working in that, you got to treat it carefully. You got to hold it carefully, because relationships are the most important thing in life, right? And so my brand, what I do as a writer, as a producer, as a songwriting coach, is really speak value to people. I believe that everyone has something to offer, and I'm just really interested in finding out where people are and if I can help them, because that's what people have done to me. So we started our own songwriters retreat called the NWSW, Northwoods Songwriters Retreat, here in Wisconsin in September. It's very relationship focused. Incredible things have happened because of it. And I'd love to give away a registration for that. I don't know how we could do that here, but I'd love to be able to offer that to you guys just for having me on. My wife and I started a church a couple of years ago for people that have been hurt, people that have been, or just kind of not into what church has become. And so we speak, we're the same people, we speak the same message everywhere we go. And we're very fortunate and very blessed to be able to get to do these kinds of things. So this is me here, this is me at Northwoods, this is me at Create, this is who I am. And I'm here to help in any way I can. Here's my deal though. I'm going to not sugarcoat anything. I'm not a sugarcoater. So the reason is because when I was trying to come up through the music industry as a writer and producer, people would be like, that's a good song. Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, I like that. Okay, what else? Like, what does that mean? Do I need to change something? Are you going to sign it? Like, and it was like nobody wants to hurt your feelings, and I don't want to hurt you. I'm not saying I want to hurt your feelings. I'm not saying that, but like I'm going to give you practical, tangible reactions, responses, and maybe a couple things to think about and work on. Take it not as gospel. Take it as this is James's one opinion. Okay, James's opinion is not the only opinion. What you want to look for is maybe 2, 3, 4 of the same kind of opinions, and you say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It may not resonate with you what I say. That's okay. I don't want to frustrate anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And so learning to separate yourself from your song is a big deal. So if somebody says, hey, I think we could change this about the song, they're not saying, hey, I think you're a terrible person. Ask me how I know that's a really hard thing to separate, right? Because that's how I took critiques for years. So I get the chance to help out people at the Taxi Road Rally. I've been a mentor there for quite a few years. At Robbie Hancock Sink or Swim here. There's a retreat that Matt's doing in Idaho. I'm going to be out at in a couple of weeks. So I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to help. If you guys have any questions, fire them away. That's it. Mostly. I like sugar-free popsicles.
All right. Well, since we do have quite a few people from the East Coast, let's go ahead and, Steve, you know who they are, so you can get started.
Who else from, other than Renee's from the East, other than James himself? I think, let's see. Yeah, first up, okay, we'll have Renee, because she's in Connecticut. And
Yep.
Renee, you want to talk about your song a bit?
Sure. I'm just trying to get into songwriting. I'm not a singer, I'm not a musician, so most of that is just AI done because how I kind of try to envision my song. So it's just a patriotic country song.
Okay, and
Wonderful. Thank you.
let me get up the lyrics and give me a moment. What I do is I share my screen, and then we play the song. Let's see.
Doctor said, son, it won't be long. Words hit hard like the end of a song. I stared out at that faded sky and made a list before goodbye. A tank of gas and a borrowed view. I said, let me see this country through. I saw Florida where the waters shine, clear blue waves like a holy sign. I stood barefoot at the edge of time and let that ocean ease my mind. I saw the red, white, and blue of the USA. Not just a flag, but everything along the way. In every mile and every hue, I found a piece of something true. From city lights to oceans wide, from mountain snow to desert sky, I didn't just pass on through. I saw the red, white, and blue. New York City, she stood so tall, Lady Liberty watching over us all. She shone green in the morning light, like hope still standing through every fight. Then up north where the waters fall, Niagara roared like a roll call. Steel gray water mist in the air, green on the I saw the red, white, and blue. Utah dust turned to sunset red, canyons wide where the wild wind led. Like the fire still left in me, burning bright, still running free. Colorado peaks stood high and white, like angels watching from the sky. Cold wind kissed this worn out soul, like something calling me back home. Maine was painted deep dark green, prettiest forest I've ever seen. Now I ain't scared of what comes next, I've seen enough to lay it to rest. Every color, every mile gave me one more reason to smile. If you ask me what I found before they lay me in the ground, I saw the red, white, and blue of the USA.
All right, let's all clap here. Come on. Let's all clap for Renee. Awesome job. All right, Renee, unmute, would you please? So, talk to me about the song. First of all, I've got some notes for you. You wrote the lyric. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are there other writers on the song?
No, just me.
Okay. Awesome. And so you put it into something like Suno or something. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I had like a vision of how I wanted it to be, and like what instruments and like the tempo. So I put all that in.
Yeah. So great. I would love to hear this song. I would love to hear your demo of this song.
Okay. Like, what do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Great. So do you play the guitar?
I play no instruments.
Okay, I got you.
Nothing other
Okay,
than
that's no problem. You're an excellent lyricist.
oh, thank you.
You've written a very good lyric here. I do have some suggestions for you if you're open to them.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what I would call this would be an artist pitch. This would be an artist pitch. Now, when I say artist in sync, do you understand the difference between those two? And if you don't, it is totally okay, fine. So sync is synchronization, meaning the songs that you generally hear on TV, okay, on Netflix, Amazon, on commercials, and in movies. Those are generally the places that you find sync songs. Sync songs they oftentimes sound just like an artist pitch song, which would be like a radio song. When I say artist pitch, generally you're like, I want to get this to Toby Keith, right? Okay, awesome. So a sync song, the parameters are a little bit different usually, where you don't have as many what visual anchors or what country writers call furniture. You got a lot of furniture in your song. That's descriptive anchors. The green of the Statue of Liberty. So if the movie, is Heartland or Landman, right? They're not showing New York City at that moment, but now your lyric is forcing them to do it. That's why that song. So sync songs tend to be descriptive in their emotions, right? So like longing for home and heartbreak and heartache and joy and sorrow. And you get descriptive with how you describe those things. And it's less story driven. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So that, for those reasons, for me, this is very much an artist pitch song. Okay. I think you're a really good writer, and I just want to tell you that there's no ranking in the songwriting world. Well, I hear sometimes people say, I'm just Listen, we need great lyricists in the sync world, right, Jimmy? Right? We need great producers, track people in all worlds. We need great. Some people say I just come up with titles, or I'm just a melody person. Oh my gosh. I'm like, thank the Lord. Like, I love people that know that this is kind of my specialty, my specific lane. Because remember, I said it's the opposite of what I do, right? So because you have a specialty, you can refine it, okay? And you can spend some time. Couple of things I want you to think about, and then we'll talk about the song specifically. There are I would encourage you not to use rhyming tools in your writing if you are using. I felt like at times I was hearing some what's called end perfect rhymes. So game and blame and shame, like the perfect that they line up exactly the same. I ask all of my writers in what we call the tribe not to use rhyming tools. And so what I ask them to do is write the most honest line that you can and the next most logical thought. The most logical thought. And there are times in your lyric I felt like you found the rhyme and then you put the words in front of it. That could be wrong, but it just had that feel to it to me, okay? I recognize that in a lot of writers because I used to write that way. So when I stopped doing that and I started writing the next logical thought, everything changed. And what changed is that the lyrics started to make perfect sense. Now, so that would be the first thing I would suggest for you. The second thing would be the prevalence of the word green in that lyric. I specifically can recall the word green 3 separate times. So you had the Statue of Liberty, and you had Maine, and then you had and then you had it on Niagara Falls, right? That's a lot of green. So I got nothing against the color green. It's in my color palette according to ChatGPT. That's this color, but I'm not. I would be mindful of that, right? I don't necessarily want repeating words all over. You have a great way to describe going all over the country and what that means. So that's my first suggestion for you. My second one is a question. Where did the story come from?
I know it sounds weird. I woke up one morning and it just popped in my head to
Okay.
have red, white, and blue of the USA, and it was more like the colors that you see in the country, but it was also I see the red, white, and blue. It's more like the people and the
Yeah,
just like the people who make up the jive of the country, I guess.
I love that. I want to be clear. I love the idea. I I think we can go one layer deeper on it. I'm going to give that to you as well. By the way, any idea that I give to anyone here tonight is yours. It's not yours and mine. I'm not trying to get it on your songs. Everything I give to you is take it and claim it as your own. Okay? It's all free for the taking. All right. But I'm specifically asking you about the story. Where did the story come from? Not the idea, the story.
It's just weird. I just start like putting stuff down and then I just kind of like go like in a certain direction. And then sometimes I like will like split and make a different song from the same thing. I honestly don't know how it just kind of comes. And I just was thinking of, what would be white, what would be blue, what would, like just what areas of the country. And I just thought, if he was dying or, that
Yeah.
it might just be something that would be a little bit more emotional, I guess, and hit
Yeah.
him where he could just like say, "I saw all this, and now I'm okay with life."
Yep. Totally get it. The reason I ask that is overwhelmingly when I see a song that's fiction in a story, it's somebody that got a call from a doctor and they have limited time to live. It is a very
No,
huh?
no, my mom passed of cancer a while back, so I think just death and cancer. I have had a lot of death
Yeah.
in my life lately, so I think it
Yeah.
was just kind of that.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. That's hard. I get it. So, but if I don't have the lyric in front of me at the moment, but it's like it might be there might be a kernel of truth in it, but it's sounds like it's the song, I rode the bull Fu Manchu and I did this
Oh,
and I did that, right? And so it's all these things. I live like I was dying. It's all these things, but those kinds of songs, Renee, it's super important that you're writing from a place of experience. And so this is my biggest takeaway for you is rather than concoct a story, just reach into your life. Write it from first person. Because I think that the red, white, and blue, and again, I don't know how open you are to changes, but I would be much more apt to press play if you email me this song if it was called Every Color in the USA.
okay.
I've heard a lot about the red, white, and blue. But what you're actually describing is the in which you started, the cornucopia of colors that are not just in nature, but it could be in culture too. It could be in people. It could be in our fellow humans, brothers and sisters, that from albino white to the darkest dark, like every color there and every color of the spectrum in nature. That's the United States of America, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like a song that focuses on unity
Yeah.
is a really important song in today's culture. It's a song that I'm interested in. I'm interested in unity, not division. So, I might dial it back and say, what am I really writing? I'm not really writing about the red, white. I mean, you're using that to the springboard, but you're actually describing all the colors. Because you spend a lot of time talking about green, and there's not green in the flag. And I get it, but it's not totally. You see how it's not totally connected.
Yeah.
So my takeaway for you is great potential as a lyricist. Number 2, don't diminish yourself as a songwriter. Being a lyricist is a gift, and it's amazing. Number 3, don't shortchange yourself as a lyricist. Try to write without the rhymes at the end.
Okay.
Number 4, make sure that your songwriting lines are up writing to your title. And in some ways, there were some misses there. It's okay to change your title to something like Every Color in the USA. I don't know. As an A&R person, like I'd be like, I want to hit play on that. I'm very interested in what you're going to say about Every Color in the USA. And then you go on to describe it. And now I feel like that kind of took the shackles off your writing where you can write a little bit more. You could actually include more colors, right? That's my take. That's all I got. All right.
Okay. Next one up. The next on the list is not here, so we're gonna go. He may come later. Go with Joe Lindstrom. And Joe, you want to describe your song? It's called "So What."
Okay, yeah. So I was lucky enough to get a few songs into a movie that would be coming out in the summer, and I kind of made friends with the director, and he said, "Oh man, I have this song that I want to sort of like pattern a tune after. It's called 7 a.m. by Jacqueline Taïb. She's a French artist from the 60s and 70s, and I do a lot of vintage stuff. So, can you do a song like that?" So I did 2 songs, and the second song he chose. But he didn't choose this one, even though I think this is the stronger song melodically. But now, like, I don't know if there's anything I can do with this song. Like, I don't know if it has a future. I did it very specifically for something I could picture it as an artist pitch to somebody like Olivia Rodrigo or somebody like that does like a retro sound. But I'll let the guys play it, and James, you can weigh in on it. Maybe this thing will just go to my website to die. I don't know.
Okay, here we go.
It's late again, or early, I suppose. I said I'd be home, but I didn't say when. I'm standing here counting cracks in the floor, wondering when that started. So what? I missed the bus, that's not new. I had a plan, didn't use it. I've got change in the wrong pocket, and nowhere in particular to go. So still right, I'm not playing fair, 'cause I'm fairly broke. Still right, I'm not playing fair, 'cause I'm fairly broke. And so what if I am? So what? I checked the time, forgot it again. I started thinking that's usually when it goes wrong. I tied my shoes too tight this time, walked anyway. So what? I had a point, somewhere back there. It didn't wait, I didn't chase it. I'm leaning on a wall that's leaning too. We seem to get along, so what? Still right, I'm not playing fair, 'cause I'm fairly broke. Still right, I'm not playing fair, 'cause I'm fairly broke. And so what if I am? So what?
By the way, James, you're on mute. Thank you.
Dude, such a vibe, man.
Oh, all
So
right.
So tell me about this. Is okay? You wrote it. Give me the long and short. I know why you wrote it. You wrote the lyric. Are there other people involved? Who did the demo, etc.? Give me the breakdown.
Yeah, I did the demo. I got a vocalist from Brazil. She's actually her first language is Portuguese, and I was hoping she'd lean into the accent a little bit, but she didn't.
Yeah.
She just sounds American.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time on the music. The music's patterned after a Nirvana. This is basically me just taking Nirvana and rewriting it.
Yeah.
And the I mean, it's mine, but like that's where the inspiration comes from. There's tritone substitutions. There's a lot of weird chords in there. But the thing that I really liked about it was she added a harmony, and maybe I should give her a co-write. That harmony she added to me makes the song in that chorus. It's so killer. I didn't have that in there when I tried to do it. But yeah, I spent a couple days on the music, and I spent about 9 minutes on the lyric. Stream of consciousness. Whatever I typed out, that's why it's a stutter of so what? I don't even know if it means anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the lyric is definitely stream of consciousness vibe, right? I mean, it's like it's just all over, and yet it works, man. Like the vibe is like I think you really nailed it. I think there might be one misprint in your lyric where it says anywhere, and I think she said anyway.
Yeah.
So just be super mindful of that. Like for A&R people, that's like you just don't want to be in that meet. It's okay with me, because I'm not gonna. I've been the guy that I've been at Sony Music, and they're like, "Oh, you have a misprint." Like, oh my god, seriously, right? It's embarrassing. So be mindful of that. I tell you what, man. So you're the writer. You own the demo. You have all the rights on the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what do you want to do with it? You want to pitch it for sync, right? I'm guessing.
Maybe. I've never pitched it anywhere because it's so specific. So I don't know if I can do anything with this. It's it's a really weird song.
Yeah, it is a weird song, and this is where I see this song working. I see this song working as background music in a movie. You know what I mean? A kitschy, like a really quirky, like mid-20s girl that dresses retro, and she's driving a Volkswagen Bug, and like as she's driving through Agora Hills at night, she turns on the radio, and this is the song that plays. You know what I mean? It just has that kind of quirkiness to it. For me, I don't see it as like the main theme. Usually, the best song that you best placement for a song that you want in a movie is the last song as the scene fades out. I've been fortunate to get a few of those, and it carries the last scene into the credits, and then they play the whole song. So you get the best sync fee, and then you get the best royalty, and usually you get released as a single. So I don't necessarily see, unless like you can get to Quentin Tarantino, who might love, like, this is like totally up his alley, right? I don't have any weight to him. But I'll tell you what, man, if you want, I'd be happy to take a copy of the song and send it to a couple of my publisher friends. There's one in particular that I think would probably go for it. And so just to be clear, when I do that, here's what that means. You just send it to me, send me a lyric, send me your PRO information, your IPI, all that stuff. Send me your contact information, and I just pass it on. I don't do anything. I don't charge you. I don't pick up any percents. I don't do any of that stuff. I just am like the through way to try to help people get songs signed and placed. And generally speaking, that stuff kind of comes back around in time, you know? So if you're interested in that, just send it to me, bro. And I'd be happy to send, with no promises that, you know, and then the other thing is, if you can also give me just a little summary of the song, I can put it in my catalog, and I can also send it off to some other publishers that do some direct to licensing things, and then just sit on it for opportunities that I get in my email, you know, usually 2 or 3 times a week from different publishers that I work with. And if it ever comes to, you know, that's a good fit, I'd be happy to just send it on your behalf and then see what happens.
Yeah, James, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm in a few libraries, so I kind of understand how it works, and I have the work for hire thing signed too, so
Right.
I've got that release. But yeah, I'll get the information from like Steve or Jimmy later on. But I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job.
Thank you.
You can always put it in the chat as well if you'd like.
Perfect.
Here on Zoom. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Caleb. Caleb, you want to talk about your song a bit?
Yes, so the song I wrote is a song demo. It is a song about battling addiction, and I really wanted to write a song that's like very, very authentic to me. I do believe that what I've addressed on the song is a little bit, you know, really, really out there and very personal. I when I write my songs, I usually think of like, you know, I'm inspired by, you know, a David Cronenberg film or a Gaspar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like film directors, but David Cronenberg or Gaspar Noé, and in the sense that it's very, you know, sometimes it can be very uncomfortable to listen
Yes.
to it, but
Yes.
yeah, so I decided to write the song. I did put it out because I was struggling to I didn't want to have fear and like hold it on for so long, because you know, self-doubt I think
Yes.
can be something that can hold you back as an artist, but it is a demo song at the end of the day, and it's not like quite fully produced yet. So I love to hear it. And lastly, before we play the song, I just want to say that this song, I wrote it originally to the instrumental of Auntie Diaries by Kendrick Lamar on the Mr. Morale album. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Go.
The song you're about to listen to was not written with the intent to glorify or encourage any of the harmful actions that the narrator addresses. Thank you for listening. When I was 20, I was socially awkward. I drained all my energy as a people pleaser. A lonely young boy, so when I talked to women, I was always thinking about how I please them. I met her at Revel, Duke City, a pretty woman, light skinned, 5 feet tall. I'm Caleb, I said. Didn't have confidence. She was friendly though, gave her social for contact. Drove home that night in my car, I imagined her hips in a dress if she dressed for the Grammys. I won, take her home, take off her clothes. Not me cause I won, but I lost for her body. Didn't have nobody I'd ever had sex with. Any chance given, I'd fuck anybody. Then I'd do it again, in any location. Raw or protection, cream or abortion. Shadow, shine in the dark. Shadow, shine in the dark. That same night on my social, I created a burner. I searched the profile, her name showed up. I tapped the profile, tapped the first image. She posed by the ocean in a bikini. Her breast and hips, I got hard quickly. I scrolled through the multiples to find a better view. Of a butt, there wasn't an image. Posting highlights, there wasn't an image, so I imagined her naked and pulled my dick out. I masturbated and got my nut out. I followed her account, she wasn't enough. Were there more like her? I hope that there were. Looked through her mutuals, they were all beautiful. I followed and stalked until I was sick of them. Malaysians, Asians, Caribbean, African, Mexican, mixed race, dreaming I'd sleep with them. Post-nut clarity had me thinking about stopping, becoming more productive and staying up late. But every time I tried, I couldn't because looking at the bodies boosted my ego. Shadow, shine in the dark. Shadow.
Thank you, Caleb. And I appreciate your willingness. Honestly, there was a lot of the audio was breaking up, at least on my end. I don't know if that is okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe in the recording. Okay. So I am in the recovery community. I've never struggled with addiction, but I do something called Celebrate Recovery, which is I struggle with shame and codependency. And so shame for things that I've done in my life and in my past that I knew were wrong and I did them anyway. And so I get it. So your setup on the song when you're talking about like, you know, addiction and putting it out there like the really vulnerable. I appreciate that. There's a song called, have you ever heard the song called Winning Streak?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Let me write it down.
Yeah, so I'm going to just read you some of the lyrics, okay? It's by Jelly Roll, and here's the lyric, okay? So the topic of addiction, this is all I'm going to say. Here's the lyric. The broken glass of a bottle makes a jagged rock bottom, and right now I got two shaky hands and only one way to stop them. I haven't touched a drop in 7 hours, 3 minutes, hardly sobered up, already want to quitting. Sweating in an old church basement, wishing I was wasted. I never thought I'd say this. Hello, my name is Jason. And I've been losing myself, I've been losing my mind, and I've been standing in the rain just trying to stay dry. I was so ashamed to be in the seat till I met a man who was 20 years clean. He said, everybody here's felt the same defeat. Nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I share that with you is it's dealing with addiction. Okay? Yours is dealing with sexual addiction, compulsion, obsession. I get it. It's a very, very real thing. For me, as somebody who operates in the recovery community, it's too far. Now, I appreciate the honesty and the authenticity. But this is the kind of thing that you might share inside of a group. And it might even actually be too graphic where people could feel triggered. But that's the point. Some people will be triggered by this language. Not only people that have struggled with it, but the people that have suffered from it. And when we think about writing songs that have to deal with addiction and we have to deal with our bad behaviors and our shadow selves, I'm always thinking of the person who is the victim, the person who has suffered, right? And so we want to be able to say what we need to say while it still is safe for them to be able to hear it. That is the kind of artist and person that the music industry needs more of, right? So it's not pretending like I haven't done certain things. It's finding a way to present it in a way that is almost, if you're familiar with recovery terms, almost like making amends. Like I'm not going to reach back out to these women, right? But this is my public apology to them, right? And so what happens then is a woman who has suffered from a man with a sexual addiction would hear that, and that would actually be part of uh, a healing for them. That would be a good thing, right? And then men or women, because women have sexual addiction also, that have suffered from the addiction would be inspired to be like, yeah, that's right. My job is to acknowledge the hurt and pain when I've caused and to make amends when it's safe for them, if possible. So I'm in on it. I'm totally in on it, and I just really appreciate what you're doing. Yeah.
Sorry, I was raising my hand.
Yeah, please. Yes,
I was
go.
gonna say he didn't play the whole song because at the end of the song, I do address that, but
I love that.
I appreciate,
Yeah.
and I still agree with what you say though about finding a way to make the song, sort of palatable to
Yes.
every demographic of people,
Yes.
and especially when it comes to it. But I also think that art, in a way, how, as much as it's uncomfortable, and I'm not, and
Yes.
I did actually realize that because at the end of the song there is, an apology, and it's very clear of what the message of the song is about.
Totally.
But I do agree the most about finding a way to present the song to a lot more listeners, so it's more palatable. And
That's
but
it.
art is, I like uncomfortable art because
Yeah.
it's authentic. Real true art to me is like,
I agree. I totally agree with you. I guess where I'm living at is the music industry standard, like the gatekeepers. You wouldn't make it that far in that song, right? They're just not gonna. They're Most gatekeepers are not gonna hear that, or gonna. There's like not a place to push that. I agree that art can be uncomfortable, totally. I also agree that as an artist, we have a responsibility not to be reckless, right? And so I don't want to cause more damage in an effort to, like in making my amends, for example, I can't hurt somebody. I can't expect anything back from anybody when I make my amends, right? Even if you hurt me and I hurt you, like if I say, man, Caleb, I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me? Now I can't be like, now, dude, do you have anything to say to me? Right? That's not a real amends. So I'm with you. I'm with you, and be mindful of it. And I guess maybe the question that I didn't ask Caleb, what do you vision for the song? I mean, you can put the song out. It could go on, Spotify, or it could go wherever. But if you have a vision, I guess my brain is always calibrated to, film and TV and or artists, right? And so if you just want to release a song on your own, hey man, do what you want to do. Understand that there are some, you know, red flags, or there could be some issues that some people have. Does that make sense?
yeah, I completely understand that. I guess, where to improve would be, at the beginning of the song would be, well, I mean, I guess the audio cutting off doesn't do it that much justice. The disclaimer at the beginning of the song, I thought including that there would, probably help, but maybe that didn't work. I was gonna say also that, yeah, having more context, maybe at the beginning of the song, I could have done more than just the disclaimer, maybe. I also believe that, um, my intention for the song was just, talk about something people don't talk about and we all go through. I do believe that with social media right now,
Yes.
my personally, we all have our own, especially since there's a loneliness epidemic, we all tend to like just rot our brains, just spending time on social media and really just being all depressed and, you know,
Bro, listen.
succumbing to addictions.
Hey, listen to me very carefully.
Yeah.
What you just said, write that song. Write that. Write the song called "The Loneliness Epidemic," and we're all just sitting on social media. Our brains are like, write that. That's absolutely like everybody in the room's like, yep, that's absolutely true. Even though we're connected through the internet, we've never been more disconnected than we are now, dude. See, look, two hearts right there. You just spoke something as an artist that's true, that's authentic, that's universal, it's relatable, and I just repackaged it back to you. Write your next song called "The Loneliness Epidemic." Bro, write it. Great
Write it
job.
down. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, we should go to the next one. Next is Karen Mitchell. Karen, you want to talk about your song?
And Laramba, can you mute?
Yes, Rolambe's here. Yes.
No, he needs to mute.
Okay.
Hey, Jimmy, am I going too long on these songs? You got to cut me off.
Not at all. We're all loving it, right? You guys are all loving it?
All right.
I'm loving it.
All right, cool.
All right, so let's go ahead and get Karen Mitchell.
Karen, you want to make a comment or two first? Is Karen here?
She is here, but she's muted.
She's muted, yeah. There you go.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
It is.
I can't hear the moderator very well. I can hear everything else going on, but his mic is low.
Okay.
This is a song that I wrote in October and then lived it in January.
Okay.
I didn't realize I was writing what I was going to experience.
Yeah.
I'm in a rowboat in a hurricane. I know you're out here somewhere, but I'm so afraid. How long do I have to stay in this journey? See, if you're walking on the water, are you close to me? Why is this happening? Will I make it through? God, are you listening? If you are, where are you? God, where are you? 'Cause I don't like when I can't figure out where I'm at. I find myself wishing I had a lifelong road map. There are so many questions rolling round in my mind. If you're coming to rescue me, will you get here in time? Why is this happening? Will I make it through? God, are you listening? If you are, where
What a really, really well written song, Karen. Well done.
Thank
Um, it's raw. It's real. I know your story. Karen is somebody that I get the privilege to do some songwriting coaching with. Um, I think I've seen this song and I think I've seen it at some version. I certainly haven't seen this iteration of it. It just, you can just tell it's authentic. It's like you're asking, people ask these questions. You go through your life and it's like, yeah, you have faith, and then all of a sudden these things happen that really rock your faith, and you're like, God, where are you in this? This is unfair. This is unjust. This doesn't make sense. So,
Can I
yeah,
tell
please.
everybody, because I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. And what I went through in January was the second time of cancer again. So I had a really hard operation. And if my talking is funny, it's because of that. But here one more day.
You are. Your talking isn't funny. It's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and they got it all, by the way. The doctor said he got it all, and it's just checking on me now for the next couple of years to make sure that I'm okay. So
Yeah. You're more thankful for that. Um,
can I ask you a question, James?
yeah, please.
Do you think, because I had that one mastered, and I'm wondering if you think the quality's there, and would it work for sync?
Okay, good question. There's a couple of things that I'd have to see the lyric again, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I
You want me to
don't.
bring that up again?
Yeah, would you please? I personally, Karen, there's some. The vocal sounds to me like, this is gonna sound, so just bear with me for a second on this, but I had a vehicle, like I listened to Sirius XM radio all the time, and I had this 2010 Lincoln MKX, and when I listened to Sirius through it sounded, the vocal sounded like that. It's like so compressed, and it's just, and I think I don't know if you were here when Joe played his vocal, but the way that Joe's vocal with that female was mixed was like, it was right there, it was right in your face. It had a little effect on it, but the way it was mixed was very sitting on top of the mix, very kind of conversational, right? And that's really how we want the mix to be right now. This one has the mix of probably 15 years ago, where the sound of the vocal it sounds over processed. If I'm being honest, it sounds over processed, and it sounds like a good singer, but like, it sounds like the engineer went in and cut out all the breaths and all of the mouth noise, and then compressed it, super compressed it, and squashed it, and then put a limiter on it, and then put a compressor on everything else, and then put a very short tail reverb on it, and then it's just like, boom, it's right there, but it doesn't feel like as intimate as the lyrics suggest. I want it to feel like a guy sitting with his acoustic guitar around a campfire saying, God, where are you? Like, this sucks. What's going on? I'm scared. I'm like, I thought you were going to be near, and I don't like this at all. Like, why is this? Like, what the heck is going on? And it feels so honest, like almost like a diary entry. And so what I want to hear, I want to be congruent with that emotion. Does that make sense?
It does. Thanks.
Yeah. So I would dial it back. The only other thing, so I'm in a rowboat in a hurricane. I know you're out here somewhere, but I'm so afraid. How long do I have to stay in this churning sea? If you're walking on the water, are you close to me? Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I hate to do this, so please forgive me if I push any wrong buttons. I don't know that I would say I'm in a rowboat in a hurricane. I think it would be so much better if you said I'm a rowboat in a hurricane.
Ah,
Right?
yeah.
So let's just take the word in now. If I'm a rowboat in a hurricane, oh my gosh, right? That just actually even just ups the emotional energy a little bit. I know you're out here somewhere. Again, I don't know that I'd say no. I don't know that if I know that. I mean, I hope you're out here somewhere, and I'm so afraid. Um, you know, sometimes in the God songs we like to hedge, meaning like we'll say things like this, this is really hard and this really stinks, but God, I know you're faithful. And this is it, but da, da, da. And so we almost want to rescue ourselves from sounding sacrilegious or for sounding like a Pharisee or just like it's too much. And I think it's best for authenticity to just say the thing. God can handle it, right? In he could take it from Job, he could take it from David, he could take it from Elijah. He could take it, and so we don't have to hedge to make ourselves or to make God feel better. We can just say the thing. And so I would make one more pass at it, and then the other thing is the timing of the phrases. Feels like there's at 2 extra bars at the end of the verses that very much for me kind of get me out of the flow of what's happening. It's okay because you did it in both of them, but I would really like to hear the lyric rephrased so that it was able to land. And as I look at the first verse, could we scroll up to the second verse? Yeah, I can't figure out where I'm at. I find myself wishing I wish I found lifelong roadmap. Yeah, lifelong. I found myself. I wish I can't because I can't figure out where I'm at. I wish there was a way for me to have a. Yeah, there's just a little bit more emotion in there. There's so many questions rolling around my mind. If you're coming to rescue me, we get here in time. Like I like that. To me, for me, the way the second verse was phrased and delivered felt just more authentic energy wise. So I'd say one more pass, Karen, at that, and then I would dial back the production and dial up the raw, just the raw of a guitar, one guitar, maybe a guitar with a light, airy arrow, like a icy pad in it, like a drone pad with an acoustic guitar and a vocal that has very little to no effect on it, but sits right on top of on top of the mix. I think that's the key.
Ooh. Thanks.
Okay. Next up, we have Larambe. Larambe, want to say a few words about your song?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. Yes.
How's everybody?
Good.
Yeah, this is a song that's going to be included on the album,
Okay.
and pretty much speaks for itself.
Okay. So are you the artist in the song?
That I am.
Okay, great. And so you sent this song. You're going to be releasing it. It's all ready to go. What are you hoping to get from me? How can I help serve you with this song?
I am just sharing the song, and if there's ways that it can be made to be better, then I'm open to it.
Okay. Great.
All right. Let's play.
Love came without warning, didn't see the signs. Ooh, what we did this morning. Ooh, down low. Yeah. I live down by the bottoms, you live up in the hills. To us it doesn't matter, but to certain ones it will. No one has to know, so let's keep this love about on the down low. Yes, it's true, we come from two very different worlds. So when they come together, we need to be discreet, forced to sneak and peek. So we must stay undercover. My friends are hearing rumors, wondering if it's true. They say stay away from that forbidden fruit. They don't really know, they don't know just how much we love each other. So there are those who envy, those we cannot trust. They try to pry in our business. So darling, we must protest precious love that we possess. So we must keep our distance. No one has to know. To know.
Nice job, Larambe. I like that, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it greatly.
I appreciate your vocals. That's a vibe. I mean, that's that. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, man, did I just turn on watercolors on Sirius XM? Like a smooth jazz, like where smooth jazz is at today is smooth jazz is like kind of classic R&B but with more modern production, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like it, bro. I really like your voice. I like what you say. My favorite line that you have is something just really cool and creative where you say, I'm from the bottoms. Right? You're from like the bottom. I've never heard that, bro. And I was like, but I knew exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
That's just a very, very cool thing. Some of the theme of what you're saying, I thought your title was, so we need to keep it on the down low, right? But you called it No One Has to Know, but that's just something to consider. What is your listener going to remember? If they have to Google the title, I would probably let's keep it on the down low.
Again,
well, I had that in parentheses.
Oh, you did? Okay.
The only reason that I didn't really post it like that is it almost has like an old kind of feel, when people talk about keep it on the down low. So I didn't really want to emphasize that per se, but
yeah, I do feel like though, Larambe, I mean, just something to consider.
Yeah,
that speaks a little bit more to the accuracy of what you're writing about. Like, no one has to know.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably have it in parentheses.
Okay. And again, just take it. I mean, if you don't want it, that's fine. It's for you.
I've had it, so
Yeah. Okay. The other thing is, you gotta just what I would do if you were one of my writers. I'd say, okay. I want you to take out some of these. You weren't here at the beginning, but I talk about the prevalence of perfect end rhymes and writing with a rhyming dictionary or rhyming tools. I would suggest that you not do that. There's a few perfect end rhymes there that just feel like the line is written to the rhyme, and it's very hard to be objective about your own songs. It's one of the hardest things in the world that I had to learn to do. And that is, if I'm giving you a critique about your song, to be able to just have it just be about the lyric and to be objective about it, super hard. But here's the deal. Initially, I had the impression that no one knew what was going on. So I'm like trying to figure out in my head, like, all right, so you got the guy here, and she's up here, and he's down here, and they hooked up, and okay, and then we're gonna keep this quiet, right? Because certain people, as you said, certain ones also, I would look at the way in which you phrase a lyric today needs to be congruent with how you talk. That's what conversational lyric is. So you say certain ones, unless you talk that way. Generally, most people would say certain people, or they would say some people. Some people are going to have something to say. Some people aren't going to like the fact that you and I are together, right? Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so just kind of go through your lyric and say, and one way to do that is read it out loud. Have a friend or a significant other or somebody in your life, just have them read it out loud, and then you'll hear it and you'll be like, I would never say that. I would never say it that way. And so sometimes when we're writing, we're trying to be like clever, but clever always sounds contrived. It always sounds like, like I efforted too hard. Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, totally.
That is what I would say.
Okay, fair.
that
Okay, that's fair. Certain ones. Okay. Well, then that's fair. Then that's authentic for you, and I respect that.
Plus, I'm into how something sings. So some people, to me, doesn't sing the same way as certain ones.
Okay. All right. Fair. I mean, overall, then great. Then I'll end it here. I would say I think it's got a good vibe, very good vibe, good pocket. I think you got a really nice voice, and man, hey, you know what? Put it out into the world. Let's see what happens. Well done.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You got it, bro. You got it.
Okay, next one is mine, and then we have 3 others after that where people submitted, but they haven't come yet, and they always come. So that's
okay.
We can play them later if you're up for it.
I'm up for it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Did you get? I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you get mine? I'm just curious.
Nate.
No, I didn't, Nate.
It's I released under Marlon Dorn. It's Where We Left
okay.
Off.
Well, then I do have yours. That's right. I forgot you used 2 different names. Yeah. Okay. Marlon, we'll do yours next then. All right. Okay. Marlon, you want to say about your song? And hold on. It's called Where We Left Off, right?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, James. Hi, everyone else. So this is a song I wrote and produced about a month and a half ago. I also recorded it myself here in my bedroom. I guess it's about the aftermath of a relationship where you're just kind of coming to terms that it's over, but still kind of hoping that it might come back.
Yeah.
I guess it's also about the feeling that you'll always kind of leave space in your life for someone, no matter how long it's been or how far. So that kind of vibe. As far as my plans for this song, it is something that I've already released, although I'm very open to any kind of critique or advice or criticism. If you have comments on the mix, I'd be very open to that too, because I am trying to get better at that. That's been like an uphill battle for me, the vocal mixing part. But if I would prefer to focus most of the critique on the songwriting and composition and lyrics, but open to anything really. Other than that, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it.
Dude, hey, 2 questions. Number 1, is it true? Is this song based on truth with you? The story that you laid out, I kind of feel it. I kind of felt something a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I love that. And also, just first impressions, I love your vibe, man. I so appreciate your humility and like, yeah, I could use a little help here, and this is an uphill battle, and like that is the heart and the spirit of a learner, and I recognize that. You know what I mean? And because we all have something to learn. I'm actually here to learn from you guys too. So I appreciate that kind of humility. So looking forward to hearing your song.
Thank you.
of staying. I'll be here waiting. Will I see you again in the morning? You're my rock in this world. And you came into my world without warning. Don't want those other girls. You lead me on till the crack of dawn. Got me running all day like a marathon. Oh, I need some closure. You can keep the keys, just remember me. From friends to lovers to enemies. Oh, there's so much I wish that I told ya. Who's right and who is wrong when someday we'll be gone? And I'm here holding strong with you. There is no moving on. I'm stuck on what you're doing. I cry cause I'm only human. These games and bets I'm losing. Will I see you in the morning? Oh my darling. When going gets tough, when you've had enough, well we can pick up right where we left off. Through seasons changing, when life gets draining, just think of staying. I'll be here waiting. I'm alone when the sunlight seeps in. I'm at a loss for words. On my own with nothing to believe in. Has the world turned? I'll wish you well and clear the shows as I wake in the morning all by myself. Oh, now that it's over, I'll miss the skies and your gentle eyes. Oh, why'd you go? I wonder why. Cause I don't know, the curtains close, the wind it blows, and still it goes. Who's right and who is wrong when someday we'll be gone? And I'm here holding strong with you. There is no moving on. I'm stuck on what you're doing. I cry cause I'm only human. These games and bets I'm losing. Will I see you in the morning? Oh my darling. When going gets tough, when you've had enough, well we can pick up right where we left off. Through seasons changing, when life gets draining, just think of staying. I'll be here waiting. When going gets tough, when you've had enough.
That's a vibe, man.
Thank you.
That's a good vibe. So that you did the production, you did the vocal, yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So there's a couple things going on. So you said you want to talk songwriting? Yes, I love that. All right, so let's talk about it. The main thing that I see, my good friend, is I see these, what I've been talking about, the end rhymes, you know, and so
Sure.
the lines are like similar, but they're not to me. And this is how what I teach my writers. Just write the next logical thought. Just write the next logical thing that you would say. Just write that. I'm not worried about the rhyme. And generally, we want what's called loose or imperfect rhymes now today. We don't want the perfect rhymes. You have the prevalence of the rhyme, but like over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's a style and it's cool, but like it's the structure of it is very almost like cut, copy, paste as far as the syllables and how the rhymes are and things. So we want variety in that, right? So we're gonna have super long, like fast bam bam ba da da ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da bam ba da 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 you know what I mean? Like it's just all this variety in rhythm and melody, right? Because then all of a sudden you're like thinking about each section, Nate, as a hook. You're thinking about it as a hook rather than just filler. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you've got multiple titles in the song, none of which I felt like were the title of the song. And so
really?
one of my writers that I was actually two of my writers in sessions today that I was coaching. What happens is as we talk, there are more titles that come out, and you have a line in this song that I want you to take. Now I understand the song's already been released, but I want you to write a new song based on your own line. You ready for
Okay.
what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you said, with you, there is no moving on.
Yup.
What? That is so powerful, man. It's the person that is you can't get over. And they might not be good for you. They're probably not. It's kind of combustible. It's not maybe the most healthy, but you just can't get over them. Dude, write that song. I've not heard people write songs like that. That's a very specific lens. Okay? And so how I would write that song, if you're wondering, would be I would say I might talk about the first verse. It's easy for me to get over like literally everything else. Like, and I would list out the things like, if a friend betrays me, I can forgive and move on, right? If a family member does this or what, and again, these are just ideas. You have to explore what they are. But I would give the examples of how quickly I can get over stuff. Boom, boom, boom. And then, but the contrast, but with you, there is no moving on, right? And then second verse, I would explore. I've tried to block your number. I tried to unfriend you on all the socials. But I could not see you again for the rest of my life, and you're gonna be the one that I'm hung up on. Like, it's so true because so many people have that. But here's the other thing, my good man. People, what your listener does is they'll be like, I'm that person for so and so. I'm that person that they're hung up on. It actually feeds the ego of your listener.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, right?
That's good.
The other thing that so I already talked about the rhyme. The other thing is, a lot of people talk about conversational lyric, and in just my own writing production, I've kind of uncovered another level or layer of conversational lyric. And so when people say make it conversational, what they mean is that when you read it out loud, like I talked to Larumbe, make it so it sounds like how people talk, right? So it's very just conversational. That's exactly what it means. But here's the second part of that. You can have a lyric that reads conversational, but if you don't sing it the way that it's spoken, it doesn't sound conversational. And you did it a couple times when you said, be here. It was the changing and the waiting. The way that you actually put those in is different than the way that you would say it. The way that you sang it, you put the syllabic stress somewhere different than what I expect. Now, I'm not saying, hear me clearly, I'm not saying don't ever do it. You can do what you want to do. As Caleb said, it's art, man. This is art. You're the artist. But do it knowing that you've done it. Katy Perry did it with Unconditional. Unconditional. Like, she put the stress in the middle of the word. It works. But know that you're doing it and be mindful that you made that choice, right? The vibe, I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's cool. I'd like to hear your vocal a little bit tighter. Some of the backings don't totally sync up and line up. So I would just tighten that up in general. I think the strongest thing about the song is the emotional space that you're describing, and that all the other stuff can be learned. You're an observational writer that can hear or can see a moment that needs to be described, and that's a real talent. So
Appreciate that. Thank you.
more. Right. That's what I would say. So that makes sense?
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. You got it. Great job.
Okay, next up is mine, and then there are two more after that. So this one's called Art Creating Art. This is a song about a real event, but it's not how, in other words, part of the song is fictional and part of it's real. In other words, it was, this is how it was supposed to have turned out, but the reality was a little different. Okay, let me share my screen.
Well done, Steven.
Thank you.
So that's you on the. So you wrote the song.
Yes.
Okay.
And did the vocals? Yes.
Did the vocals? Who did the? Who's the band?
Oh, that was my producer, Roy Randa. He played all the instruments.
Yeah, that's a great sounding record, man. Really nice, really nice.
Appreciate it.
I love your setup for the song. Be like, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's it started in truth. It didn't end the way that it's like aspirational. That's cool, man.
There you go.
That's cool. Steve Block told a great story at Northwoods about a hit that Blake Shelton had years ago. It's like first big hit, and the truth of the song behind the story was, yeah, the ending is a little bit different than what the song is. That's okay. It still has the ring of authenticity to it. What I like about the song is it's very period. It's very true to the period, that you're writing it to. It's not a modern record as far as sound goes. Everything locks in. I love the kind of just cavalierness in the way that you tell the story with not a ton of regard for like the modern rhyming schemes and those kind of things. You're telling the story, right?
Right.
And I think it plays to the song's strength. I think the mix is done really, really well. For my ears, I mean, I could have preferred the vocal just a couple of dB louder. That's just a preference thing.
Okay.
I really like the vocal out front. The biggest thing for me, I mean, the record's already done, right? So, and it is true, accurate for period, but just for your own mindfulness of songwriting moving forward, not necessarily for the song.
Right.
You go, creating art, and let's see, creating art, and the A, yeah, da 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 ba da 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 da. Okay, so what? Yeah, it's the seventh. I missed that for a second, but I got it. So what you're doing there, your melody is following your chord changes.
Okay.
Be very careful about that. I want you to unlink your melody movement. Ba 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 ba. B E B ba ba. A major ba 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 ba. B. So your melody moves
Right.
in sync.
Okay.
I want you to unlink those two. Okay? So I can ride that one a lot, right? Rather than da 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 da. They're locked in together. And so if you a way
That's
to
an
write more
interesting perspective, yeah. Okay.
yeah, a rate, and that is a kind of a dead giveaway of a song that is not particularly written in the modern framework. Unlink your melody to the chord changes. And one way to do that, by the way, is if you may be a guitar player by nature, go to the piano. And this is how I learned to do it. I'm a drummer by nature, actually. So then I sat down and learned the piano for songwriting. And then I was like, everything, I love Brian McKnight and I love like Stevie Wonder, and just, so everything that I was doing sounds like a Brian McKnight song for a long time. It was just so complicated. And so I was like, I'm in a rut of how I'm approaching melody. It's starting on the 1, it's going to the 3, like it's just super predictable. So I picked up a guitar. And I was terrible at the guitar. I only knew one chord, the E chord position. And I just ran the E chord all the way up the neck. And what it forced me to do, Stephen, was it forced me to change how I approached melody. So sometimes as a writer, we got to put ourselves in these uncomfortable positions that we're like, I'm not good at this. You know, Renee was like, I'm not good at singing. That's okay. A friend that I have named Aaron Rice, who wrote a bunch of hits for Toby Mac in Nashville, he told me, he's like, the greatest thing that I have as a writer is the fact that I suck at singing. I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, because I write melodies that the average guy can whistle as he's mowing his grass.
Okay.
He said, James, you write melodies that are all over the board. He's like, it's awesome, but it's too complicated. I'm like, right? Taylor Swift, man, keep it simple, right? I mean, it works. So just be mindful of that. The other thing that you could do, and again, just tips I picked up along the way from other writers that were smarter than me, try to write melodies that are not one phrase, but 2 phrases, like 8-bar melodies. So they're not always like da 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 ba ba da ba da ba da da. So you have really a two line melody that repeats.
Right. No, I know what you mean. Some of the later songs I wrote had more extensive melody lines. Like you said, it was more than 4 bars. It was more. It just,
awesome.
And I've noticed that in a lot of songs, I ask myself, you know, this chorus is really long. I mean, they put, in other words, the melody in the chorus goes on and on.
Right.
And there are certain songs that are like that. Yes. I
For
know
sure.
what you're saying. Yeah.
For sure. And so, when you want to look at melody and thinking about melody, look at like Adam Levine and look at Coldplay and Ryan Tedder and look at the simplicity where like every section of their song sounds like a chorus. A lot of times because I start with the lyric first now. I used to always start with rhythm first. I start with lyric first. And then then I go to melody and I'm like, okay, this sounds like a verse melody. And then I get to I get a chorus, and then I'm like, now I'm going to take what I had for the chorus, and I'm going to use that in the verse. So the verse is super hooky, and it's so there's a hook in the verse, then the chorus is a hook, and then the post chorus is it's like another chorus, and then everything is just it's just so pleasing to the ear, right? Because you only get 10 seconds if you're lucky. You get 10 seconds.
No,
I
know all that.
10 seconds. Yeah. Right. So, but as far as what you did for period and all that stuff, yeah, thank you. Yeah. I love it. I think you crushed it. Honestly, you did a great job.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well done.
Okay. So next up, these are a few folks who didn't make it, but they submit all the time. So
okay, cool.
This is by Emmanuel Lawrence. And let me see what his song is here. It's called Your Smiling Eyes. And let me cue up everything here. Let's see. And
I appreciate you other guys hanging around too. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from people that when they were critiquing other people's songs, not my songs. You can still pick up a lot of advice.
Well, it didn't take long, didn't take too much. Your subtle sweet smile, warm and tender touch, and I feel like I'm falling into your gaze sublime. It's your name I'm calling, wanna beg you all mine. You're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling. You're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling. Let's tell the story. My amazement at your beauty I'm beholding. You're someone I've never ever known before, and I'm still so surprised. I'm still falling into your smile. Eyes are smiling at your smile. You're smiling. You're smiling. You're smiling. You're smiling. You're smiling. You're smiling. You're taking me to places I've never ever been. You open up your heart and I'm diving right on in. Falling hard but I feel alright. Can't help but hold you tight. Embracing each other, we keep loving on one another. You're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling, you're smiling, and I just tell the story. My amazement at your beauty I'm beholding. You're someone.
Thank you, Emmanuel. If you hear this, hopefully you will. Yeah, let's hear it for Emmanuel. Thank you. I gather that he's writing for his significant other, Jean. I saw Jean. I appreciate that. just a great idea. Your smiling eyes. To me, that's a very, very visual what I would say about the song, couple of things. I mean, as a producer, it goes around twice in the intro. I would definitely cut that in half. Again, I don't know if the song has been released or not, but if it hasn't, I would cut the intro in half. It's I tell my writers to either cut the intro entirely, like immediately entirely, get as soon as you can into the song. It used to be 40, 45 seconds. I like to hit the chorus if possible at 30 seconds or under. Again, these are for outside writers that are trying to get your songs in placement and to be used. So there's a lot of perfect end rhymes in this, and I just feel like there's a lot of meat on the bone, to be honest. Like, I want to hear more about the specificity of the subject, who I would imagine, again, is Gene. What is it about the smiling eyes? Like, I can picture people that have smiling eyes. Like, when my wife is really happy, I can see the smile in her eyes. I can see it with my children. I used to be able to see it in my mom before she passed. Like, that brings really visceral and very visual warm fuzzies to me. And I feel like there's just a lot more to be said about it. Some of the things that I'm hearing in the lyric, to me, I've heard before, and that is really the challenge, right? In the lyric, say the old thing a new way. And so I would just encourage to continue studying the subject, studying your wife, and, what could you say about her, or if it's your girlfriend or your daughter, whatever, what could you say about them that makes you feel prompted to write the song? Lyrically, I think for me there was a little more depth that could be unearthed on that, especially if we put some of the rhymes aside and just dug in on the emotion. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, the last one. This is from Ed Lackey, and it's called Scaredy Cat.
Cool.
And let me cue it up and give it a roll. A spin, I should say.
Baby, I still love you, but you just ran away. Maybe you'll come back again to me someday. I don't know where I went wrong. Guess I'll just hide my tears and try to look strong. Shame, shame, shame on you for not doing what I want you to do. Second thoughts are where it's at. Guess you must be a scaredy cat. I remember when I held your hand, held you close.
Okay, great. So he's not here. So I will.
Oh, he actually just came in.
Oh, he just came in.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
Okay.
I love that. Okay, a couple things.
Let's see. Ed, are you here? I know I just saw him. I just let him in from the waiting room.
There he is. I see his name.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
we call it Mr. Perfect Timing. I mean, come on. Unbelievable.
Ed, unmute yourself when you can. We just played your song. Okay.
Hi, Ed. Testing 1, 2, 3. Ed Lackey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, how are you doing?
We're in the middle, and I reckon.
Okay, where in the world are you, Ed?
Los Angeles.
All right, tell me about the song. Who's the song written about?
Somebody that broke up a long time ago.
Okay. All right. Um, what's your vision for the song?
That's a good question. It's basically uh, you didn't do what I want to do, so we're done.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that's the theme of the song, but what's your vision for the song? What's your hope? Where do you want to see this song land?
Anywhere, I guess. It's only entertainment.
I'm not sure how to process that. Um, be more specific. Like, I mean, it has landed somewhere, right? It's already landed in a recording. Um, so if you like for if I don't know what the target is, then I don't know how to calibrate, you know, my shooting device to whether I am even aiming for the target. I want to be able to offer some constructive criticism based on where you see the song or where you would like to see the song go. Or are you just sharing it just for listening pleasure too? I mean, that's also cool.
That's about it.
Okay. Well, thank you. Great. So I probably don't have a ton to say on it, except if you want to write for modern application, um, meaning in the sync world, if you want to get like film and TV kind of placements, and or if you were thinking of like, hey, maybe there's an artist that might be into the song. One of the ways to do that, Ed, is to really examine what your target is, and you've got some really good production going on here as far as how you presented the song, a full demo. Some things that would inhibit it in the sync world would be like the guitar solo and those kinds of things, because a guitar solo specifically interferes with dialogue of actors. So you would kind of put a cap on, where that might be used. Another thing is the language that we use. So calling somebody a scaredy cat is certainly more of a like 50s kind of language, right, than 2020s. So that's okay. There's no problem with that. It's just being mindful, if you were going to pitch this to a more modern artist, right, it would maybe be incongruent for those ways. So the last thing I'll say is I would be very, very careful when you are projecting or casting shame on others. That's a real sensitive thing today in culture and in for artists and for listeners. A lot of us grew up hearing "shame on you," and it didn't produce healthy effects in general. So I would, I mean, just for me, when I hear or see something like that, I would say I'm not sure where to put. That's why I'm kind of asking, like, what are you thinking, right? Usually in songs today, it's going to be I and me statements, and if there is some dissolution or breakdown of relationship, I generally want to look at my part, unless what's happened is so egregious. But even if something that's happened is egregious, I need to look at myself and say, man, how did I fall for that? Like, how did I end up in this position again, right? So again, songwriting is songwriting, and it's subject to a lot of different opinions. So you take in what could be beneficial to you and spit out the rest. Fair? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, of course. All right, Jimmy. What else we got? Any other questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, critiques? Send all those to Steven. Okay, I don't want to hear it. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's pretty good. I know we're going to have a lot of people that'll be checking it out online.
Okay.
Once this thing gets put out there, so that's really good.
That's awesome, man.
And I do need to get your physical address so I can send you our thank you thing that we always do.
I'd love to. Yeah. Is there a way for? So we got Ed here. Here's who we have in the room. Now Karen's already come, and we got Matt, we got Ed, we got Renee, we got Joe, we got Nate, aka Marlon, we got Larambe, yeah, and we got you and Steven. I mean, I don't know. You guys are kind of the moderators of it. Is there a way for us to give away a registration to Northwoods? Is that something that you guys that would be of interest to you?
Well, I guess I'm trying to think what would be a good way to give that away.
Okay, that's a good question. Here's what we're gonna do. Give me a second. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 people in the room. Okay, let me ask the room. Is there anybody that would not and there's no offense to that. What it is it's our registration is right now $7.99. It's September maybe 10th through the 13th or 14th. Songwriters Retreat here in Wisconsin. Myself, Matt Vanderbo, Steve Block, Jim Thacker. We set you up in pods. We give you real life opportunities to write for artists and sync opportunities. People get there. We bring in a lot of people that can, records that we're working on, and we give you real opportunities to get your songs placed and just learn to collaborate with other people writing in pods and get a lot of life advice that'll just connect you in an incredible way.
Is this in person or online?
It's in person.
Okay.
It's in person. So is there anybody that would say, you know what, that I wouldn't be able, for whatever reason, that would not be a possibility or not interested?
Yeah, it would not work for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to go either, so.
Okay. So Laramba and Jimmy are, was that you, Jimmy, that said that?
Yeah, I would be able to do that.
Okay, great.
I'll be on a cruise.
You'll be on a cruise? Okay, so we're down to Steven. So we got Steven, Steven, Nate, Caleb, Joe, Renee, and Ed. Is that correct? All right, here we go. So we got 6 people. You got a 1 in 6 chance. Oh my goodness gracious, I like those odds, right? Here we go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I have a random number generator on Google. Here's going to be your numbers. Okay. Steven, number 1. Nate, 2. Caleb, 3. Joe, 4. Renee, 5. Ed, 6. Oh, we got Matt. We got Matt, too. We got Matt Hollick, 7. So we got 7. I got to change this. Okay. Everybody got their number? Okay. Are we ready? All right. So, Steven 1, Nate 2, Caleb 3, Joe 4, Renee 5, Ed 6, Matt 7. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to share my screen so you can see that I'm not lying, that I gave a random number. I can't share my screen. You got to trust me.
Steve's got to unlock it.
Okay. All right, hold on. Here we go.
Let's see. Share. Okay.
Hi, Matt.
You can share it now.
All right, here we go. Everybody's got their number. You all ready? Yep. This is very exciting.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go to a retreat and let's learn something fun. Okay. The number is 5. Renee is our winner.
All right.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations, Renee. So here's what you do. You go to NWSW, Northwoods Songwriters, NWSW, Retreat, RETREAT.
Put it in the chat. Yeah, put it in the chat.
Oh, yeah, right. Thank you so much. Put it in the chat. NWSWretreat.com. Okay? You fill out the registration. When it comes to payment, just say paid. I'm going to let our admin team know you just won a free retreat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I look forward to seeing you. Yes.
Thank you so much. Me too.
Guys, are there any other questions that you have? Any other songwriting, lyric, production, literally anything? I'm here for you guys. Happy to help.
You say you're a drummer?
By nature, it's my first instrument. Yes.
So, what genre? What's your genre?
It's a great question. So, I mean, all genre. I mean, honestly, all genres.
What's your passion?
That's a great question.
I feel like there might be a right answer to this. I'm just waiting to see what it is.
No, I mean, there really isn't, man. I really cut my teeth on jazz, to be honest with you. Buddy Rich was my favorite drummer when I was younger, and I got a drumming scholarship to go to college. Got into percussion. I mean, I don't play the drums much anymore. I program everything now, so. I mean, I still have a heart for jazz just because it's so complicated as a drummer. I mean, anything with a pocket, man. Like anything with a killer pocket. It could be as simple as Chris Stapleton. It could be elevation worship, elevation rhythm.
What was it that you mentioned something about Brian McKnight earlier? You said his songs were complicated or something like that.
There's chord structures can be, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he said he likes complication.
I do.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, when you think about, it sounds simple. One last cry before I leave it all behind. Wanna put you out of my mind this time. Stop living a lie. I mean, it sounds simple, but when you actually start studying the chords, it's fairly complex. And
I heard he was really into chord structure and stuff.
Yeah, and he really got that from Uncle Charlie. I mean, Uncle Charlie is like the original. Brian McKnight. So, not
Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, you never heard of Uncle Charlie? Charlie Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go back.
He played.
Well, no, his style and the structure of what he does, not modern day, because he's more modern now. But the soul of what he does is Brian McKnight is very much in that line, in that vein. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. You're talking about vocally.
Yeah, just the structure, just kind of the essence, the aura of it. Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of that came from Stevie.
Oh, no doubt, bro. Yeah. Matt, how you doing, man? Did we hear any songs from you? I didn't hear it.
No, there wasn't one sent in.
Oh, okay. What do you do, Matt? He's like, I'm out of here.
Sorry, it took me a second to unmute.
You're like, bro, don't call on me. I'm out.
No. Yeah, so I'm a songwriter. I just joined kind of like little more than halfway in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been a songwriter since I was probably 9. So I do definitely have a song in mind for, submitting next time.
Great.
So yeah.
I love that, man. Keep at it. You got a good vibe. I love this group. I love the diversity that we brought here tonight, Jimmy and Steven. Great songs, great potential, great group. And I appreciate all you guys. I hope to come back sometime, and I'm always willing to help in any way possible. So you can, if you reach out to me, that's great. I'd love to keep in contact with everybody. I would ask that if you're going to send me a song, just send me one song in general, like not a disco playlist of every song that you have. No disrespect.
Maybe, if you can put your email in
the chat,
and then if people do send you something, it should refer you to SongNet, because then you'll know the context in which it comes from. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just my name at Gmail. So yep, just send that to me. That's my personal email, and send me a song. And then if you need some feedback or just whatever, I'm happy to do that.
And it looks like Nate had a question also.
And I'm working. Yeah, go ahead, Nate. I'll answer your question first.
Hi, sorry. I'll try and be brief. I know it's getting late, but my question is kind of back on the topic of genre. As someone who considers himself to be kind of an early stage songwriter, I've been doing music for a long time. I studied contemporary classical music in school, but I've just recently started songwriting over the past 6 months. I only have 25 songs written and recorded, and I feel like at this point in my, career, just like output and volume is very important for honing in on a voice and like a musical lane, so to speak. At the same time, I feel like almost every other song comes out in a different genre almost. And I know genre really comes down to drum patterns a lot, whether it's just like having rap drum patterns with like pop vocals on top, or like the track I just shared, which is more like indie or alternative. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how crucial is it to really just hone in on one lane and like do that 100%? Or do you think it's okay and wise to kind of just spread my wings and explore and experiment?
Yeah, it's a great question. The answer is yes. Yes. So at this stage of where you're at, man, I would try everything. Like who would think the music is such a cool place right now, because Lady Gaga performing with Tony Bennett, and Michael Bublé performing with all of these amalgamations of Jelly Roll with Brandon Lake, and you're putting country together with pop, and it's just great, man. So we need more fluid in our definitions of genre, and in experimenting in all of these different genres, I would say look for the common thing that's coming out of you, right? Because that's what you're really looking for. You're not chasing a genre. You're looking for your voice in the industry. So I would chase genre for a long, long, long time, right? And it got to be like I was close with pop, and I was close in whatever CCM and modern country, until I just like, you know what? Forget that. I need to write what James Kocian, like authentic. And then before you know it, I could bring my authentic voice into different genres. And I think a good example of that is Ed Sheeran. He's got a way that he writes. He's got a voice that he writes in, the way that he approaches melody and lyric. And my wife and I were getting some ice cream last summer, and we had the country radio station on, and I heard this country song, and I'm like, that's an Ed Sheeran song. And she's like, that's not Ed Sheeran. And I'm like, no, I know, but I know that Ed Sheeran wrote. What are you talking? What? And I'm like, you know this? I said, no, but I recognize his voice, not his speaking, but his writing voice. Yeah. I said, look up the writer. And she's like, how did you know that? Well, because I study songwriting, right? So he has a way. And so when he shows up as a writer, he shows up as a writer with the same voice. all the time. When Ryan Tedder shows up, he shows up with his voice. And so when you show up as yourself, you'll show up. But right now you're in fine-tune mode. So worry less about what's the style, what's the genre, and really get down. Here's my brand of what I say. Here's what's important to me. I focus on highlighting these kind of emotions. I post breakup songs, or you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's it. That could be your era right now. I don't know, but take time to really fine tune your voice. Fine tune your voice. Hope that helps.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's awesome. I think we're gonna wrap then. Jimmy, is there anything else?
Yep. Well, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, we'll see you at Taxi, and it'll be good, I'm sure.
It'll be great.
For those of you guys that are here in the LA area, we've always got different things going on. We do have our in-person showcase thing, so you can show off your songs or just test drive your original stuff. That'll be coming up on I think the 15th, right? So
let's see, if you're 15th, you're right.
Yeah, 15th.
2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks from tonight at the Urban Homestead. That's always a whole fun thing. And I've got a couple different art guest speakers lined up. I'm still not sure which ones we're going to have yet, or which one we're going to have yet for our May event, because one of them has been here before, and she really, really wanted to come back again. And she's like one of those mega famous sort of people in this industry. So
I love
it
that.
should be pretty good. Yeah. And she's been doing a lot, but she's always very, very busy. But she really enjoyed what was going on here last time. So. And then, of course, we'll have Joanna Desma back again either in June or July. So got to find out what's going on with her in the Huck Fin Festival and all that. So it's always good, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again. James, thanks again, and I'll email you so I can get your physical address so we can send you the thing.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All right, thank you guys so much. Great job, everybody.
Thank you, James. Thank you for coming out your time. Right. Bye-bye now.
Yes, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Steve.